Okay, welcome to today's Success Strategies webinar from Inside Real Estate. We do these Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays currently at 12 p.m. East. Up on the screen is insiderealestate.com/webinars, where you can come and get the current link and see all of the replays, including yesterday's replay with Nick Macri. I think I'm saying his name right. Nick dropped some knowledge bombs, some great stuff about how he's using Instagram over there in the Charlotte, North Carolina market. So definitely check that out. It's insiderealestate.com/webinars to get this replay, what we're doing right now, and all of the previous ones. Tons and tons of juicy content going back years there on the YouTube channel. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the notification bell underneath the videos, and be sure to stay plugged in. Also, Facebook group is insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. I've got a poll there. We're looking at doing setups of ads versus doing ongoing management the way we've done for years. So just trying to gather some feedback, see what everybody thinks of that idea. So if you want to pop in there on that poll, if you're watching this live today, that'd be great. Just let us know what you think. And I'd be curious what everybody here, if you want to comment, just let me know. Are you doing your own Google ads or your own Facebook ads, or are you paying somebody else to do them for you, or are you just not there yet and you have questions? That might be a good place to start today. One of the ideas I had for a topic today, if you're new here, these are generally free form, and I'll usually do one or two things and then let you guys take over and ask questions. But what I wanted to do is jump into the Google Ads account of the local brokerage here and make some tweaks to an existing campaign per the request of the broker. I hope she doesn't mind me showing this. Delia, I tried to call you before and ask if this was all right, but I'm just going to beg for forgiveness later if it's not. But I'm going to jump into an ad account here and make some tweaks to an existing Google pay-per-click campaign. I thought that this would be a fun exercise for everybody to kind of see as a work in progress. So, so great. Carla's saying not there yet, but wanting to get going. So, there's plenty of people out there who will do Google PPC, including us in the marketplace of KV Core. We have Facebook and Google pay-per-click advertising options. And we have our property boost service, which I think is a wonderful place to start getting leads fast around specific listings. And we have a few of these services. And what what we're moving toward is maybe a scenario where the ads are created in your account, you have control over the budget. Because we set them up, there's a good chance they're going to work out for you. But from day to day, you're not locked into the $500 a month, for example, that we do with Google. We know that that's kind of an objection for a lot of people going right away to that kind of a budget. So we're exploring this idea of maybe setting up campaigns for you. You control the budget from day to day, a little more flexibility. And this is always, guys, all of these ads products and the things we do here are really genuinely about your success with KV Core. That's what we have in mind. Of course, money needs to be paid. Fees need to be charged. This is a business, and revenue needs to come in order to pay to have people do these things. But we are always prioritizing and thinking about what could we do to make sure you have more success with KV Core and our other products. And I think that Google pay-per-click and Facebook are still major contributors to that success. So along those lines, let's just look at an example campaign, as I just said here, and kind of show you some results. Again, Delia, this is a local campaign in St. Pete. The fear here would be that one of you guys try to copy this for in our market, and that the broker whose account I'm looking at wouldn't like that. The only thing I would say and warn you against is that you're going to be going up against me on these campaigns, and these are well-established campaigns, so do be careful on the spend. But I am going to open the kimono a little bit and show you a little bit of what's been happening here and show you a tweak that we want to make, and I'm going to make the tweak live. So here are, you're also going to see numbers, but here are what can happen with pay-per-click ads. All right, this is an example. It's all enabled. And you can see there's two main campaigns here that have been successful that have generated 400 leads each, and the cost per conversion has been really healthy. Now, this is on the low side of what you can expect. I think that I did a few things here that I won't completely share that have allowed the results to be this good. I don't want to give away all the kind of secrets because this is isn't directly my account, it's the brokerage I'm at. But this can happen if you run a successful campaign. You can have people who are actively searching on Google, St. Pete, Florida real estate, and they can see an ad and click on it, and for $5 or $6, you can generate a lead into KV Core. The only site that these ads are going to, the only place that these ads are going are directly to searches, directly on KV Core. Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna go to ads and extensions right here. And here's the ad. And all it does is go to a squeeze link within KV Core. And one of the pieces of feedback and requests I've had from the broker, Delia, is that maybe we do something here. Even though the cost per conversion is good, we're getting people from out of town, which is what we want to do, who are searching for real estate in the area, opt in at $5.58 a lead. Even though that's very good, we'd like to maybe not be so overt about attracting the lower end. And you can see what I did in my ad here to try to attract and get a volume of leads is I did price from 39K to 2 million plus. And I know that this is a little bit of a trick to get more clicks. And also when somebody lands on this landing page right here, they're seeing very low end condos, okay? And this is sort of the carrot, right? This is somebody who, and I want to mention this, somebody say who's up in Canada searching down in our area in the Midwest. They're not necessarily in this price range, but the idea of a $47,000 or $39,000 condo is always going to be good bait to get somebody to click through the site. And if you're getting these kind of leads and you're seeing searches on your KV Core site in this price range, I just want to caution that you don't always want to think that that's the price range people are in. You're going to see the views of the properties, right? In the dashboard, you're going to see all these 47s, 59s, 60s. Well, that could be because we or your pay-per-click guy has set things up to maximize clicks, get as many people in your folder as possible, and it just happens to be these are the properties that people are seeing first. So don't get freaked out and say, oh, you're only generating low dollar leads. No, you need to work every lead the same and not assume that just because somebody looked at a $65,000 property that that's what they want. Now, what tends to happen with leads like this is that over time, you're going to see in the leads kind of history that the price range changes as they click and engage with more of your automated alerts. That's why automated alerts are so important. And as they click in and engage with those alerts, find one that's active here, you're going to start to see patterns on those individual leads. So going by the fact that on day one, somebody clicked on a $39,000 property and that's the activity you see, that's not always going to be accurate. So here's an example. Let's see. Viewed 2 properties, came in a couple of weeks ago. So it's not many, but they clicked off an alert and they viewed 2 condos in the 117,000 range. That to me is not enough data to be convinced that that's the price range this person is in. I would want to see a lot more opens and property views to really know. So let's see here. And I don't have a super active account. Let's see here. I just want to get you guys a good example of what I'm talking about, but I might not be able to. So 266 alerts. That's not in the timeline. Okay, I'm not going to obsess on this, but I think you guys get the point, right? Is that don't always assume that because the ad is running and that your ad guy hacked it up and sorted the listings from low to high, that's the situation that you have a low end deal. On the flip side, I'm doing almost exactly the same thing here with waterfront, St. Pete luxury waterfront properties priced from 1 million to 7 million. Flip side of that, generating a similar cost per lead in the $7 range, a little higher. And this ad is going to show properties sorted from top to low. And I would caution, don't get excited when you got that $19 million buyer searching your site right away, because it's not accurate. But these two extremes are a good tactic, and maybe a pointer you can take away from this webinar that you might try is in your ads, both Facebook and Google, try to express a price range. And what I found is that whether you do it from top to bottom or high to low, kind of a good approach. It kind of gets people to do a double take with their head and click through on the ad. Now, the feedback that I'm getting is, hey, I don't want to deal. This might very well just be attracting people. Delia's had a big sample size here. I believe her. She's calling all the leads and she's saying, hey, can we try to not kind of attract that person who really only has a $50,000 budget? And this is a fun problem for me to try to solve. And I figured I would try to solve it here because it means I need to kind of rethink what these ads say. Now, the cool thing is that in order to get that different buyer, I really don't need to change the structure of the Google campaign. Google campaigns run at the campaign level, and then the ad groups themselves have keywords inside. And I'm not going to give you those keywords here. I'm not going to give away all the sauce, but they have keywords inside that people are clicking on. And the truth is, we can actually keep running the same ads to the same keywords and get the same flow of impressions. See this impression count right here, bunch of impressions, but we can play with the actual messaging in the ad in order to attract a different kind of lead. So it's a little bit next level, but when I hear that kind of feedback and it says, hey, let's see if we can get somebody else, the first place I'm going to go is with the ad messaging and try to change that up a little, because I know that only if you look at the CTR, well, this is pretty good. 14% of people are actually clicking the ad who see it, so that's a really good ad. And 4% are seeing, but the other 95% aren't clicking the ad. So there's still a lot of different people out there who aren't clicking the ad who could be attracted. What I want to try to do is get those people who might not be interested in the low-end condo. So I hope that makes sense. I know it can sound a little abstract and convoluted, but for those of you guys who have some experience here, I think that might be helpful. And let's go ahead now and just change the ad. So I'm going to go into the ads. And specifically, I'm going to mess with this condo one. Our luxury one, I think, is doing okay. You know, it's going to show the agents at the company. Another trick here, if you're running traffic for your entire company or a team, kind of a little hack is to sort those $1 million ones so they start seeing those $1 million impressions right away and they get excited, right? So if you want to get your team engaged, there could be a good hack in that. But I'm going to go ahead here, click edit. I'm going to click copy and edit. And we're going to just kind of create another version of this ad. So I'm going to do St. Pete, Florida condos. And I'm going to go waterfront. So what I try to do is figure out something that the competition isn't doing, right? Most of the competition is just saying, search St. Pete, Florida condos, you know, or find homes for sale in Tampa. It's very generic. But if we can identify something that kind of makes the ad stand out a little bit, numbers are good, doing price ranges are good, but also characteristics of the property. So I'm going to go waterfront. I might even do beach and waterfront, which is kind of the same thing, but I know beach is a buzz thing here, right? Beach and waterfront. Beach and waterfront, starting at, and if I had more time, I might actually, I'm going to go starting at 350. I might actually figure out what the right number here is, but my knowledge of the market thinks that's kind of a good number where there's actually going to be listings. And then I'm going to go run the search, and I'm going to change the link that I'm sending the traffic to start at 350,000. So let me show that. You know, I know this is review for a lot of you guys. Let's go build and squeeze link for anybody who's kind of new here and wants an idea about how to do this. So I'll go into my lead engine. And I'll go landing page. This is for the main brokerage, but I'm just going to take my subdomain off of it after. I just have to be logged into this account. Oops. I'm on the wrong page here. Carla, that's a good question. What's the best way to check what the competition is doing so we can do something different? On Google, it's really simple. Just start Googling, and you can see what pops up. Don't go clicking their stuff necessarily. It's kind of, you're going to cost them money. It's not a nice thing to do. And Google, if you do it too much, Google will kind of know, and they might not like you so much. We all got to fear the Google these days. I don't know what they can do behind the scenes. But start Googling and seeing what ads pop up. On Facebook, you can actually see what ads a specific business page is running. I haven't done that in a while. It's like, I think it's on the page somewhere. I might have to come back on that and explain how. But if you Google how to see competitors' ads on Google and Facebook, there are ways. I think SimilarWeb is another site that you can see Google ads are running possibly. Anyway, let's do this. St. Petersburg. I'm going to make my squeeze link here. And then again, I was going a little higher on the price range. So I was doing 350, and then we're going to just go all the way up. 99 million. And I offered waterfront. So I'm going to go into for water view. I'm going to go up into my options here. And this has been pretty good. I'll do waterfront in my market. It's pretty good. It gives a good set. So waterfront 350 plus. Oh, you know what I did? I did the city, but I do want to do the whole county. I'm saying St. Pete, but there's more to it. So I like to go with the county there. All right, and then source is going to be Google PPC. I want to make sure it's consistent with our other ads. So selfishly, I'm just taking a minute here, and I'm making sure I'm using the same source because the routing rules in the system follow that source. So I'm going over and making sure that the source is Google, and then the hashtag is St. Pete Falls. No, it's not. It's condos. condo. So you see what I'm doing now? This is an important thing to think about though for lead routing. And if you're adjusting an ad that you already have going, it could throw off the different routing rules, the automatic alerts that you have going. So you just want to consider that. And property views before registering. I think I've been leaving it default, and then generate link. And now I've got my link here. And now this is what I'll change. I'll slightly change the destination ad to. And I better take my subdomain out, or I'm going to end up getting all these leads to change to cool. So do it like that. And now I've changed it. St. Pete, Florida condos, beach and waterfront, starting at 350. Now, what's this going to do? The starting at 350 for sale on the beach, St. Pete, Florida. Now I just changed it. What's this 350 do? It's going to exclude people who know they can't afford 350. Not all of them. Some will still click and be curious anyway. But the attempt here is to start to change up the quality of the lead. And I just want to test my link. It's always a good thing to do. Test. I forgot we're defaulting the map. I don't really like that for PPC guys. I don't think it's a big deal, but I do like to sort by list. Right here. I am going to leave this on map just to see how it performs, but I'll always go back and sort the list. But price from low to high, and that should get me my 350 cutoff right there. And I want the people to see what was advertised right when they land on the page. That's kind of why I want to do that. Sort it that way. So I'll tweak that later and make sure that it's a list view, not the map, and then it's sorted right. So I'll look at your questions here in a minute. I hope you guys find this useful. So I'm just saving the ad. And now the way that I'll do this, I can actually leave both of them running at the same time and see which performs better. Or for now, I'm just going to pause the other one. The beauty about Google is if you have a campaign like this that's been working well consistently for a while, you can just, you can very easily just turn it back on and expect to get the same results in most cases, unless something drastic changed in the marketplace. So it's very nice to build a portfolio of ads like this that are working. And it's safe to kind of play with them and change them as long as you always keep the one that was working so you can go back to it. So I paused that one, started this one up. In 3 or 4 days, if Delia or the team is like, hey, where'd all my leads go? I'll know that this didn't work out so well. That's usually how I know. I try to remember to go back in, but, you know, somebody will yell at me. All right, so let's see here. Comments. Yeah, so getting a lot of leads from, oh, okay. So Josie's getting a lot of leads from a Facebook ad, but not a single one has listed a phone number. How are you formulating your ads to input a phone number? So the biggest kind of, the easy, quick answer to that is use Facebook lead generation ads. There's an objective in Facebook called lead generation, and we've built all our Facebook ad services around this because it just works like crazy to get cell numbers. So our Facebook AI and retargeting will do that, and core property boost. Now, if you're running your own ads, and you want to know how to do that stuff, we've done a number of webinars about it. I think I have a lead ads webinar here. And there's also a course in the learning portal called Facebook, something Facebook ads or something. I do know that I have some webinars in there. So let's just do lead ads. I want to kind of just get you guys. There's the one about seller leads. Oh, this might be a little old, the lead ad one. It's definitely in the course, and I'm going to drop you guys the seller lead ads one, if that's okay, because it does show the process of creating a lead generation format in that recent webinar we did. It was probably only about a month or two ago, this one. So I'll drop that live to the people in the chat. If you're watching on replay, it's in the playlist, you know, on the webinar page, just not too far down. But that's the answer, Josie. I would definitely do that. Now, if you want to get more people, if you want to keep sending traffic to your squeeze links, like this link, you could try requiring phone number. In my experience, you get a lot of fake phone numbers. The other way to handle that is to just say, you know what, I know that I'm not going to get a lot of phone numbers now, but if you follow up with retargeting and you follow up with a lot of unique content in emails, mass emails, eventually people will call you. And that's kind of my always response on how to get more phone numbers is not to even worry about it, Neo. It's just get a lot of good emails in there, pixel a lot of people in your audiences, and if you're putting out great content and you're out there doing property tours and you're constantly engaging eventually people are just going to want to reach out to you. And I think Nick did a good job of kind of communicating that yesterday when he talked about Instagram. It's very similar, is that in a lot of cases, I doubt Nick's stressing over having the cell number. I'm sure he likes to have it so his team can follow up. But I'm sure a lot of his business is coming from people just reaching out to him because he's out and about and everywhere they're seeing him, and he's getting those DMs on Instagram and other channels. So that would be my advice there. Either do the lead generation ads or stress a little bit less about your immediate phone number acquisition and focus a little more on the conversion content. Okay, what's the best way to check out what the competition is doing? Oh, we answered that. So how to spy on competition Google ads. You know, this is other than just Googling it. I know there are sites. So Neil Patel's got an article about everything. So yeah, he's got a product called Uber Suggest. There are some paid programs like Ahrefs and things like that you could use. So I'll just drop these for you guys. Oh, and I'm sorry, I dropped the link earlier to that video, but I dropped it to just panelists. Sorry, thanks for letting me know. Sometimes I do that. You have to like choose all attendees. So there's the link to this blog post I'm looking at now, and then the YouTube about seller leads I just dropped to everybody. So spying on Google, there are some tools, and then see what ads a Facebook business page is running. I should do this more. I know you can do it, but I just don't. But here's how. You go to the page and then see all in the page transparency section. So facebook.com/. And then, maybe because I'm an admin, but there's a page transparency section that I haven't looked at in a long time. There it is down here. See all. Ads from this page. Go to ad library. This is Shane uses this page too, but so there you go. You can see what your competition is running off that Facebook page. He's running a lot of just listed ads for his mortgage partners. That link makes you put in your website. Oh, Uber Suggest or the Neil Patel link? I think Uber Suggest might try to make you register. But for Google, I think the best way to see what other people are doing is just Google. Like I'm Googling St. Pete condos now. Google it a few times. You can just see what else is popping up there. And you can see, I've been really, a lot of times there's not as much competition as you would think. I'm not seeing too many other agents on here. I'm seeing specific condo complexes gaming this keyword. That might be why the campaign's doing so well. And you might assume like I do that everybody's doing this stuff, but you might find that in a market where you have 5,000 licensed agents, that 5 are doing this stuff. So there's plenty of opportunity out there. And there's so much traffic on Google that even if 100 people are doing it, not all 100 people's ads show at the same time. So here's one. That's interesting. That's only one other agent that I see. And the rest are kind of services. So just a thought. So I hope everybody found that kind of useful, that kind of beginning part, just going into a Google Ads account. Again, we're looking at a situation where similar campaigns to this get set up for you as a marketplace tile where you don't have a recurring fee. We're just kind of gauging some feedback. We're not 100% sure that's the right route, but based on the feedback in the group, it's sounding pretty good. Seems like something people would like. So if you want to go and contribute to that poll, if you're watching this on September 3rd, it should be on the top of the thing here, and if you're watching a replay later, but so far 31 people versus 7 say yeah, they'd actually like that. That's it. Does anybody have anything else you'd like to kind of explore today? That was what I brought to the table for our session. And I'm looking through the comments here to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, great question. Allie's asking the difference between landing pages and squeeze pages. So it's pretty easy to show. So a squeeze link, you guys just saw me make one, right? It's this kind of link where I have a list of properties And then if I click through this list, eventually I'll be asked to register. So I'm going to open this up. I'm already logged in on this site. So I'll open a new incognito window. So with a squeeze link, this is the experience that your visitor will have. They'll kind of land on the link. They might click through a property or two, and then eventually they'll be asked to log in and enter an email address or click continue with Facebook or Google. And the lead is generated that way. Now, one thing with squeeze links is you'll notice the way we do squeeze links is that there's 100 other options on this page. There's other properties I can look at. There's all these different links here. There's a navigation up top, right? All this different stuff I can do and a lot of information. And generally what this does is it dilutes the attention, right? So off a Google ad, we do pretty good because it's pretty targeted and the modal pops up. We've tested this stuff and we do about 10.5 to 11% across North America, you know, so coming off a Google ad conversion rate. Now, if you want to get a higher conversion rate than 10 or 11%, or if you're running Facebook ads, it's usually around 4 or 5, just so you know. It's a little less than 10. But if you want to get higher percentage, if you want to get up into that 30, 40, 50% conversion rate, our landing page feature might be the way you go. So a landing page looks like this. And you can see on this page, there's almost nothing else going on. The person only has one option. They're either going to take you up on the offer to see the list of St. Pete, Florida fixers and foreclosures now, or they're going to bounce. And if you've written a good ad that already gets them to click off of Facebook, for example, offering a list of fixer-uppers and foreclosures, the landing page doesn't need to do a lot of selling. It just needs to not have distractions like a squeeze page, and you can get 30, 40, 50% opt-in on this kind of a page. So that's the difference. Landing pages I would use for very specific offers. If you have ebooks, if you want to get coming soon listings and you want people to give information to get information about a very specific thing, great. Squeeze links are very good for offering lists of properties and then getting people to opt in. Good question from C. I don't see your full name. Is it possible to just put a squeeze page post on my Facebook page without buying an ad? Nope, definitely possible. I talk about this almost every day, right, guys? Because you guys are on every day. I think we did this 2 days ago on 9/1. We talk about it pretty frequently, and that is, you know, the idea of posting squeeze links to Facebook to your personal profile is definitely a good way to go. So definitely do that. Do it every day. Do a property search of the day, a property list of the day to your personal profile so everybody remembers you're in business. And then a lot of people like to spam Facebook groups. I don't like it, but I know a lot of people are generating commissions doing that, so do it if you like. Spam those Facebook groups. Just be careful about getting yourself into Facebook jail or banned or getting your URL timed out, because that can happen as well. That whole approach, I do have a little mini course inside of the core learning portal, which I just clicked through, where you can, it's called Social Posting for Leads, where you can see a step-by-step on how that looks. So where is it? I think it's in Growth Strategies, a simple social media posting protocol that generates leads and referrals. Right there. Cool. So how do you do the landing page? Sure. The way that you do that is you go to Lead Engine, and you go to landing page right here. You select your domain, and it'll bring up a page that looks like this. You have different options for the different formats. The way the pages look, they do different things. You know, some only have a button that clicks to something else. Generally, you're probably good just to stick to the main one that pops up, the lead generation. You're going to add a hashtag, any old hashtag. A call to action for the button. See, I'm doing click to see the list. And then your URL after login would be maybe a list of properties. So let's go back to our luxury homes. So this might be the URL I take them to afterwards. I can take them to a squeeze page. Keep in mind, if you take a landing page and you redirect somebody to a squeeze link, they're automatically logged in, so they won't have to log in again. So I'm going to go URL after login, and I'm going to do now St. Pete, Florida, luxury homes, priced from 1 million to 5 million, something like that. I like to get rid of the other bullet points. I feel like it gives the chance for somebody to get confused there. I think that's a bug. Has anybody noticed that you can't get rid of this? I'd like to get rid of this. So I reported that as a bug a few days ago. And then you can set your background as well. There we go. That makes for a pretty good page. So that would be it. And then I would just click save, hit OK. And then these don't get saved in the database to come back to later. I know it's a shortcoming, it's an issue. So you're just going to want to save the URL that's in your browser and use it in your marketing. But this alone, this one landing page, you could build a whole business around, right? If you focused, if you went and bought St. Pete, Florida luxuryhomes.com or whatever, redirected it here and marketed everywhere you could, any possible place you could. Just this one page could be your whole funnel. And then as people opt in, you would just set all these leads up to get automatic hashtag alerts for all listings in that price range. And that's the makings of kind of something that could work over time, especially if you're only attracting 1 million+ leads. You don't need to have a high conversion rate for payoff. What stuff do they get sent if they put sell? That would be something you text. And the idea, this is kind of a funny story. Justin Tracy, who built the landing page converter back from conversion days, asked me what the page should do. And I said, oh, you should put something where you can have like a message at the bottom underneath. And I said, something like if you enter your cell, we'll text you cool stuff. But I meant like as an example, and he just made it part of the product, and it's been there for like 5 years. So this isn't ideal. You should change this to say something that you would. So an example of what you might put is if you enter your cell, we'll text you the best luxury St. Pete, the best luxury home deal we know about in the area right now. Give some people something compelling. Or if you enter your cell, we'll text you our ebook about 7 tips for negotiating a better deal on a luxury home in St. Pete. This was kind of, I'll work to get this fixed so that it works properly here very soon. I do have the request in with our product team, but this was meant to be an inducement to get the cell phone number put in there, and it's supposed to be free form where you can put whatever you want. So the hashtag, you might have missed that, but it was up top. I'll show you that again. I'm going to question about where you put the hashtag. It's right up top here. I probably went too fast. So you put it up there. And remember, hashtags drive everything in the system. So I can then go in, say I had the hashtag luxury homes. I can then go into marketing autopilot, and I can set up automated alerts, see the search alerts, based on that hashtag. And really, guys, I know a lot of people like our smart campaigns feature, and you obsess over doing all these fancy smart campaigns and all the things you can do with them, and it is awesome. But really, this will get you a lot of the way there. You see, I have a few different core automated hashtags set up here that will just send those listings that the person opted in for. And that's a great way to get somebody email every day with your name on it, getting something that they wanted in the first place, more interesting listings, and give them a chance to click back through your system and ask a question about a property. Doesn't get any simpler than that. So definitely do set up hashtag alerts. So I would just do like deals or luxury and set my criteria and be done. And then good question, do you set up a campaign to trigger? I do. Generally, I have little campaigns. One thing that I probably do that I like to tell people is my campaigns are usually really short. Maybe it's one text, and then a couple of, maybe the first few days they get something from me, like an onboarding kind of little thing. But then from there, you let the automated hashtags take over. And what you should really be doing is doing unique content in your niche. So if you're doing luxury, for example, maybe you should be working to announce a luxury open house every Friday or Saturday that you'll be sitting at, or do tours of properties in the higher end range. And more frequently, the better thing to use versus smart campaigns, in my opinion, is the mass emailing and mass texting, because those force you to put out original content that people can engage with versus trying to create something canned that people will kind of recognize in most cases as drift and automated. So automated property listings, unique created content with mass emails and text, and sure, do smart campaigns if you want that do cool things. But I always think of that as the third thing to refine the funnel. And some people at the company here might not like me saying that because we put a lot of work into making smart campaigns awesome, but I'm just trying to give you my take on it. And I think that that's where the fruit is. You want to do all three, the automated search alerts, the one-off send, and have a really good smart campaign, but I would actually put smart campaigns there. All right. What about just information only? Like, what is short sale? Wonderful, Darcy. Yep. So you could create a blog post or a Google Doc, a PDF report, you know, a custom page on your site, and you could create that, and then you could then create a landing page. So we'll do this again. Exactly what you're saying, you know, what is a short sale? So it might be beginner's guide to acquiring and negotiating, beginner's guide to acquiring pre-foreclosure, short sales and pre-foreclosure. I know this is redundant, closure properties in St. Pete, Florida. This is going to be a thing again soon, guys, I think. When I, you know, like it has been about a decade ago, but beginner's guide to acquiring short sales and pre-foreclosure properties. Short sale and pre-foreclosure is kind of the same thing, but we got to think about it how the intended recipient's going to know these words. So getting the word foreclosure in there alongside short sale might be good. And then, yes, you could then redirect this landing page to a custom page in kvCore, a blog post, a YouTube video, wherever you want to put your content right there. But this could be the foundation of your whole funnel. So, Darcy, you don't know how to create a custom page or a blog post? So yeah, okay, you need a video. We do have this documentation. So, and I've shown these on these, but you need a specific video about how to create a custom page. Tell you what, I think this is a great topic for a dedicated video, Darcy, in the Facebook group. So I'm going to make a note for myself, notepad, and I'm going to say, create an example short sale funnel using a kvCore landing page and custom page after opt-in and post to group. And I'll put this in my task manager after we get off. I just want to show you guys all my crazy tasks. But that's what I'll do there, Darcy. Give me, maybe I'll do it this afternoon or tomorrow morning. In the meantime, you know, definitely use help.insiderealestate.com and just search like custom pages using landing pages. This isn't too hard to piece together. But yeah, I kind of just showed you the loose parts of it all, but I'll do a concise 5-minute video that shows the whole thing being built out. Cool. It's a great case study idea though. I think a lot of people get hung up with, where a lot of people get hung up with like free reports and special reports is actually where do I host the content? And to me, the easiest thing to do is just put it on a custom page, or you can even put it in a Google document and just link to the Google Doc if you want it to feel more curated or like a PDF or something. So I'll show that in a video. Cool, guys. Well, wow, we're 40 minutes in. I really appreciate the feedback. It gives me things to talk about. So I do appreciate all these questions. And if anybody doesn't have anything else, I think we're going to go ahead and close out for today. Definitely have a great Labor Day weekend. And you know, if you have time, check out some of the replays at insiderealestate.com/webinars. Do interact in the group, take part in that poll, and we'll see you again on Tuesday after the holiday for another one of these live sessions. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a good one.